What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out two very exciting portable power stations. On my left here we have the Ecoflow River 3 Plus, this is the regular version of this unit, and on my right we have the Ecoflow River 3 Plus wireless. So both units have the same 286 watt-hour capacity, they have the same input, they have the same output, they have the same number of ports on the back and on the front. But the wireless version basically adds this wireless power bank at the top here. This is also removable, so whenever you put this back on our power station, this will charge from the power station, and this way you can actually charge your phone from the power station. You can just place your phone on top of it and then you can charge your phone. If you need to take this on the go, so for example you can put this in your pocket, this also has a cable here, so you can charge other devices as well. So this is like a portable power bank that you keep in your backpack, in your pocket, or whatever. So that is the main difference between the Ecoflow River 3 Plus wireless and the non-wireless version. Of course, the wireless one also has a somewhat higher weight, but not that big of a difference. So if you need a portable power bank for your phone, basically, you would get the version that has the wireless capabilities. If you don't need that, you just get the regular version, which is the Ecoflow River 3 Plus. But that wireless charging pad is definitely not the most exciting part of this power station system. So the Ecoflow River 3 Plus here is the only power station in the 300 watt-hour capacity segment that offer expanded functionality. So as you're seeing this right now, we have a 286 watt-hour capacity. You can easily purchase additional batteries like this one. This is called the EB300, and there is also a bigger one called the EB600. So as you're seeing this right now, we have a 286 watt-hour capacity. If you do this, that's simple. Now you have a 572 watt-hour capacity, and if you have the larger one, then you'd have a 858 watt-hour capacity. So expandable capacity based on your needs. So for example, you're going for just a few hours, you may just need this here, or you can even take this because it's smaller, it's lighter. But if you know that you're gonna be away for a couple of days, maybe you bring this with you as well. If you're away for a longer period of time, you can just get the larger capacity addition. And just to make it clear for everyone, this works the same on the regular Ecoflow River 3 Plus, and it works the same on the Ecoflow River 3 Plus wireless. So these are using Pogo pin tags. So we basically have these pins right here on the expandable battery. And then at the bottom of these ones, we have the connector right here. So it's very easy to connect this. There are no cables or anything like that. So you basically position this like this. This kind of goes like this, and you drop it in place. And to remove it, you basically just push right here. So that easy. So it literally takes like 2 seconds to connect these together. And of course, when you're charging this, when you're charging the power station, the bottom one will also charge at the same time. Moving on to our next exciting feature, and of course that is the output power, because that is also very important for a power station. So this can output up to 600 watts. However, from the Ecoflow app, you can actually enable something called X Boost, and then this can output up to 1200 watts. And that gives you a lot of flexibility for the appliances that you can actually power from this. So with your typical smaller power station, you can't really power like a hair dryer, or if you want to boil some water, you can't really power those kind of appliances. Well, that is not the case with these units here. Now, of course, that it will also depend on what kind of a hair dryer you are using, what kind of a device you're using to boil the water, just to give you an example. But you can enable that X Boost, and it gives you a lot of flexibility for the appliances and stuff that you can actually connect to these power stations and use from them. Alright, so let me quickly show you a real life scenario. So when the power is out, I actually use this to power the internet, to power the Wi-Fi router, to power the home base for the security cameras. So right now we have 49% capacity. And we're currently pulling about 69 watts. Sometimes you're going to see it around 85 depending on what's happening. But basically everything that's here is actually plugged in to the back here. So you have two plugs going down there. So in a situation like this, if you have about half of the capacity of the power station, it will last for about 3 hours at this current discharge speed. So if there is a power outage, you can basically keep pretty much all your internet stuff going. Alright, and we're moving on to our next real life scenario. So this is rated for 1500 watts, but we do have a switch here. One is like low, one is high. So we'll power this on. So it's currently pulling about 658 watts. And basically the power station will run out of power in about 32 minutes. So this is definitely on. It's gonna take a bit longer. You can actually hear the water starting to boil. Yeah, you can definitely hear it boiling. So even though this is rated for 1500 watts, if you use it smartly, you can definitely power it from this. Next on my list for features is fast charging. So of course you can also charge this quite fast and also safely. So you can charge this from an AC plug in just an hour, so from 0 to 100. And just in case you're wondering, these are identical on the back, so they have the same charging ports on the back. We also have this little plastic door that you can close and open so you can protect those charging ports. If you're using a solar panel, I actually got to use a solar panel outside. However, I have a solar panel that only makes about 60 watts. But these support up to 220 watts from solar panel charging. So if you have a solar panel that can output that, you can charge this from 0 to 100 in about 1 hour and a half. So of course it really depends where you're charging them, how you're charging them, but they do charge quite fast. So if you only have an hour, well, this is gonna be fully charged in 1 hour. Alright, and next we're gonna move on and check out the charging speed. So I'm basically gonna plug this in. So this is at 1% right now. We'll give it a few seconds till it starts charging. So we are currently getting about 150, 180, 200 watts, 250, 260, 285, 360 already, 380. Oh, it actually went all the way to over 400. But it seems to stay around 350 watts in. And at this particular input, the battery pack will actually be fully charged in about 49 minutes, as you can see there. So it stays constantly around 350 watts. Another very important feature, at least in my line of work, is the ability to use these power stations as a UPS. So the switching speed for this is less than 10 milliseconds, which is perfect to keep a computer going even if there is a power outage. Because if you don't have one of these and you have a power outage, well, you're basically gonna lose whatever work you're doing on the computer. So that's why it's important having one of these and basically the computer plugged in one of these. This can also send you notifications to let you know that they're gonna be running out of power soon, so it gives you time to shut down that computer. And they're also extremely quiet, so under 30 decibels, so realistically you're not gonna hear these working at all. You have it under the desk there, you'll basically forget that it's there because it's that quiet. But it will be able to keep your computer going for quite a while, mostly because it can output up to 600 watts. So even a gaming computer will run from it fine without any problems. We're moving on to our next real life scenario. So we have our power station here. We have 55% power and I have my gaming laptop and of course the monitor here connected to the power station. So we are currently pulling about 170 watts at this current discharge rate. It would last for about 48 minutes. So of course, different computers will pull more power, but this one will basically stay at around 170 watts. So something like this you can power for quite a while even if the power station is not fully charged. Moving on to size, design and build quality. So this has a weight of 4.7 kilos, definitely not that heavy. I also love this handle at the top here because it makes it easier to carry around. This is mostly made out of plastic on the left and on the right hand sides here we have some holes for cooling. So this will turn on the fans inside if it needs to cool itself down. But realistically, this is extremely quiet in pretty much all situations. So even if you have it going for quite some time, you can barely hear this running. At the bottom here, we also have some rubber feet or rubber legs, whatever you want to call them. So whenever you have this on a surface, it's not gonna slip around. And of course, on the front here in the center, we have our screen. The screen will show you how much power you basically have, the output, the input, how much time you have left till you run out of power, or how much time you have left till it's done charging and so on. So everything is clearly displayed on the front there. Plus there is the Ecoflow app as well. So from the app you can also change certain things. You can also see how much power you have, the discharge rate, the charging rate, and so on. So there are a lot of options available in the Ecoflow app that you can enable and change. There is also a quiet charging mode, even though the regular charging mode, which is quite fast, doesn't actually make that much noise. But if you want absolute quietness, you can enable that quiet charging mode from the app. As for ports, we do have quite a few ports. So first of all, we have an AC plug on the front. Then we have two more on the back. I love the fact that we have three of these. So for example, if you have like a fan, you have a light going, maybe you have a white noise machine or something like that. When you're sleeping, you have three plugs, so you can plug a lot of devices in. On the front there, we also have our cigarette lighter ports, so you can power a bunch of devices from there. We have a USB-C port there that can output up to 100 watts and two USB-A ports. And if you have one of these expandable units, this one actually has another USB-C port that can output up to 140 watts. So for example, if you have a laptop that charges quite fast, I think my laptop can only pull up to like 95 watts. So even from this one is more than enough. But certain laptops may be able to pull more power. Well, you could power that from here. And of course, you can also use this by itself, so you don't necessarily have to have both units together. You can just bring this on wherever you go because you can power devices from just this. So to quickly conclude this video, if you are looking for a new power station that you can use whenever you go camping or whenever you are at home and you need it to power certain appliances if the power goes out, if you need it to use as a UPS for your computer, look no further because the Ecoflow River 3 Plus here is definitely one that you can consider. I absolutely love the fact that you can expand the capacity of this. Because in some situations you don't need the whole big thing, you just need something small, and this can be small, but whenever you need more capacity you can just add an additional battery. So I absolutely love that about this system. As always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check this out. Thanks Ecoflow for sponsoring this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave some comments down below and I'll try to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys in the next one.